Why does it seem like your local council isn't doing anything? The grass doesn't get cut, potholes multiply, fly tipping becomes a feature of your local landscape. Graffiti sits there for weeks. And every year you get the same letter through the post. Your council tax is going up. So what's really going on? Yes, councils waste money. Yes, some are badly run. Some are even bankrupt. But there's a bigger problem explaining why so many town halls look utterly powerless. It's what we call the statutory straitjacket. Councils have been loaded up with legal obligations from Westminster, primarily on adult social care and children's services, including SEND, without funding keeping pace with demand. These aren't nice to haves, they're legal obligations, and councils can't simply decide to spend less on these areas without breaking the law or ending up in court. And over the last decade, that straitjacket has tightened. In 2015-2016, local council spending on adult social care and children's services was around about 30%. By 2025-26, it's 47% on average. Nearly half of what councils are spending is effectively pre-committed on adult social care and children's services before we even talk about spending on parks, road services, bin collections, libraries, or anything else that the local residents might want. And here in Stoke-on-Trent, adult social care and children's services has risen by 68% since 2015-16, with it now making up over 50% of the council's overall spending. This isn't happening because councils woke up one day and thought, yeah, let's neglect public spaces. It's happening because the system is designed to force them into triage. When these legally protected services grow, everything else gets squeezed. This is why you get what some call a scuzz Britain. It's not just because politicians don't care. It's also because budgets are being swallowed up by these statutory costs. And here's the political trick in all of this. Westminster sets the rules. It expands entitlements, changes legal duties, creates new obligations, but it doesn't always pay the full bill. Instead, it pushes responsibility down to councils so the Treasury can keep national spending looking lower than it really is. The cost still exists, of course. It just lands on your council tax bill and in the collapse of local services. SEND is the clearest example. Deficits linked to SEND are now around £6 billion annually. And instead of fixing the system, the government has used an accounting dodge, the statutory override, to let these councils park the deficit off their main accounts, delaying the day of reckoning. It isn't a solution, it's a deferral. And the democratic impact is huge. Local elections start to feel pointless because councillors have less and less say over how money is spent. Discretionary spending shrinks, voters see their area decline, and even if they throw the ruling group out, the structural pressures remain. You end up with a toxic politics where councils take the blame for decisions that Westminster is making. So, what's the answer? We need to restore a basic principle. Whoever sets the policy decisions should pay for them. If Westminster wants national entitlements in social care and SEND, Westminster needs to fund them transparently on the national balance sheet and stop using councils as fiscal dumping grounds. Or, alternatively, if councils are going to be responsible for these costs, they need real flexibility and control to match resources to local priorities. Because here's where this ends if nothing changes. More councils will hit the wall, more Section 114 notices, more emergency statutory override to pretend that the books aren't broken. And in the meantime, you'll pay higher council tax for less. Worse services, dirtier streets, more potholes in your roads, and a town hall that shrugs because it's legally obliged to funnel money into a few ballooning budgets while everything else rots. And if things don't change, we're headed for a future where councils become little more than tax collectors for central government policy, and local elections become theatre. You can change your councillors, but you can't change what your council is allowed to do.